We are live. We are live now. Thank you for your patience with us coming on because I don't know why, but we had technical difficulties, but at least we are on. Hi, Kelon. Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
All right, guys.
Okay, I can hear you. Okay.
You're going in and out, but I can hear you.
Technology, technology, technology.
The audio went out.
Okay.
I mean, right,
Hold
right.
on. Hold on.
Let's do this.
Hold on. I will be right back. Just, I think I know what I have to do. And I don't have anybody here to help me. I know what I have to do. I have to get the headphones. So bear with me 1 minute.
Okay.
All right. But always, there is always a solution. That's what overcoming is. And that's owning your life. There's always a solution. So no matter what happens, we try something else. So let's try this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear
I
me
can hear you.
now?
Now I'm
Okay.
gone.
All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh. What is happening? What is happening? We are trying to have our show of hosting of owning your life, and our guest today is Kelon Miller, and he's now disappeared. He was
I'm
just here,
here.
but now he's gone. I mean, here he's here, but we're just not seeing his beautiful face. All right, I'm gonna start, and if it doesn't come up, maybe we can try something else. But I do want to thank you all for joining us on the highlighting of owning your life, which is we do every other week. And so my name is Noreen N. Henry. I'm the founder of Victorious Living Culture, and my passion is to see lives transformed to victorious living. And so with that, we host every other week the highlighting of owning your life. And owning your life is to owning your life is to really chart the course of your life. It's like living the life of your dreams. You're doing something. You're not just letting life go by. You are truly owning your life. So our guest today, before I even bring on our guest, I wanted to just touch on, the current things that's going on, the police brutality. We know that it's horrible and it's really sickening what they are doing to our own people, right? Especially the men. But so we pray for the families. No, no. We pray for the families and everybody that's affected by it, like with what they did to George Floyd, and it was just an injustice that they did. And then also with the pandemic, with all that is going on in the world right now, and then they're still being brutal. It's awful. So I just wanted to just touch on those things before we get started. But all the family, everybody's in our thoughts, and we pray, and we have to make changes, come together and make changes. So with that, I'm introducing to you Kelon Miller. And yes, we do have men on the show because it's been mainly women, but men on their lives too. And I
Am I the
met
first
Kelon
man?
from you're the first man. So yes, you're the first man. Because my cousin said to me a little while back, he said, I'm biased because it's always women. I said, no, it's not that. It's just that It's just that it's mainly women that's my followers, right? So, but we have men too. We have men too. See, now I can go back and tell him we had a man on our show. And so let me read his bio.
I'm honored to be number one.
Yes, it's an honor. I'm gonna have to give you a certificate. So as I was saying, I met Kelon through my niece. We went to school with my niece, and because of what he does, that's how I met him. We'll get more into that after we get started. So it's an honor to have you on the show, and it's an honor to meet you. I really love your character. I love what you do. I love how you are as your husband and your children. So let me read your bio. So Elon Miller is 34 years old, a husband and father of two boys, 6 and 8 years old. Born and raised in the Caribbean island, beautiful island of St. Vincent. He is now living in New York City. He works in the construction field as an as a construction elevator hoist rigger. I couldn't do that. So he recently got back to his love of art, but placed it towards photography. He started creative elements photography about 6 years ago. He specializes in portraits and wedding photography. He also shoots destinations and events. Isn't that powerful? That's wonderful. I mainly use lighting to shoot indoors or out. It gives my images my signature look that my clients love. I also mentor new or budding photographers willing to learn by bringing them along to my events or sessions. And I love that too, because not everybody does stuff like that. So you're paying it forward with what you are doing. So I never had the chance to learn like that. So I offer myself to those who commit. As young as my sons are, they're already holding a camera. Photography is my passion and it's something I love doing. So why not make a living doing what I love and loving what I do? So that is Kelon Miller for you. So Kelon, again, welcome and thank you for joining me on highlighting of owning your life. So let's get started with. Do you have anything you want to say before we get started with the questions?
Oh no, I'm just honored to be the first guy here, and I'm loving what you guys are doing. I'm loving what you're doing. I see a guest there, and
Thank
you
you.
know they're living life. They're living life doing the things that they love.
Thank you. Thank you. So the first question is, were you always owning your life? If not, what made you realize you weren't owning your life?
Actually, I was not.
So what made you, so you wasn't owning your life, but what made you realize? So then what made the change? How did the change come about?
The change came about when I actually became an adult, and it's that's sorry, the video's a little laggy, so I'm not sure. I'm sure be speaking, but yeah, became when I became an adult,
So what,
I had to
because
make
you're
some
pretty
changes.
young. You're pretty young. So about what age was that? You're pretty
About
young
right
compared to
after high
me.
school.
Oh wow. So that's pretty young though. So to own your life, because for me, I didn't start properly owning my life until just a few years ago. So that's good to that you recognize that at such a young age. So what was it that you recognized? Like what was it? Um, and what did
I
you
mean,
do?
it was a process. I actually had to start actually making my own money. I came here as an immigrant, and being an
Hmm.
immigrant in the U.S. is kind of hard starting out. And I started like anyone, like most people from the Caribbean in the construction field, and it's just hard to progress within any field being an immigrant without proper documents and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I had to take it upon myself. I came from not a rich family, so it's not so much people can reach out for help.
Hmm.
So
You
I
mean
actually
rich
had
meaning money
to take it
wise?
upon myself. Exactly. So I actually
Hmm.
had to go out and find a job and connect with people that I can actually network from, and
Okay.
I became. That's how I became independent in the construction field and start actually working. My light just went out, and actually working and started earning money for myself, and then I got back. I used to be in the art. I used to draw a lot in school and stuff like that. And being
Mhm.
in the construction field, it takes a lot of time away from that. So I actually
Mhm.
said, "Hey, listen, I'm not happy here, and I
Right.
have to start something I love." And going to church, they
Mhm.
take a lot of pictures and they wanted to start advertising. So that's where I
Mhm.
started shooting, and I noticed I loved it. So
Mm.
said, why not
Uh-huh.
start for myself and earn a living from what I love doing, other than what working for someone else.
Right. That's powerful right there because you was doing the construction before, but when you with the
Mhm.
doing the construction, you was what? How did you get into the hoist rigging? What was it called? What?
Yeah, I'm a hoister guy. I build construction elevators in Manhattan, but it is just the thought of me risking my life for someone else
Yeah.
and to earn them money to
Right.
earn them money.
Yeah.
That thought got me like, hey, what? Wait, I'm basically working myself to build this guy's house, and I mean
Right.
it. I mean that's how the world works. But after you think about something like hey, why
Yeah.
can't I?
So
Why
that
can't I
for
start
you.
something to build off of? I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't knock anyone for having a business and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But
Hmm.
why can't I do it?
Right. So that was your way of owning your life for your job, and then so now it's your business.
Exactly.
Right. So
Hmm.
that's powerful, and it's like and how it came about too, right? So it wasn't something you pursued originally, right? It was you
No, it
started
wasn't.
to take pictures, and then you just like it just went. Sometimes it seems like things just happen, right? But the Lord knows what's in us, right? He knows what
Exactly.
we all have gifts, and so that's one of your gifts because I like how meeting you, you came and shot at my events, and then when we get to open up again and we can get to have live events, I will have you again because I love your demeanor, I love your work, and like when I see it posted all the time, it's good, it's good, and I like to support my own. Sorry, no offense to anybody, but I like to support my own, right? So 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 it's good though because you started at a younger age to truly on your life, and then that's a plus for your sons too. So they're gonna get that. They're getting it already, right? Your sons are already getting it already, so they'll
Yeah,
be owning their lives
yeah. When I
now
do little kids
versus.
parties, I usually take them.
Hmm. That's awesome, and I love that because kids absorb so much and they can learn so much at a young age, and once they grow up, they take all that with them, and it's a plus for them. They're already ahead of the game, right? So that's wonderful. I love that. I
Exactly.
love
Give
to
them.
hear that. So stop. What's numbers? So okay, we already talked about what steps that you took to change it, but you were already working on it from a very young age. And I love that because I wish that I knew like the knowledge I have now, which I had it much younger, but if I didn't go through all that I went through, I wouldn't be where I am now. So everything happens for a reason and everything that happens, it gets turned around for good. So when you first came here, who were you staying with? Like who?
I stayed with my mom, but mostly with my grandmother.
Okay, okay.
I stayed with my grandmother for a longer period of time.
So when you was in St. Vincent, because what age you came here as a teenager?
I actually came here like way younger. I came here when I was 8.
Oh
I
wow,
came here when I was
wow.
8.
Okay. I was gonna
I came here
ask
when
you
I was
about
8.
how it was in St. Vincent, but you was very young anyway. So all right.
I mean,
Well, I'm
I used
thinking
to.
you
I
came.
remember. I remember a lot of St. Vincent. St. Vincent. I mean, that was a life. You know, you live in an island. But the thing is, when you live in an island like that, you kind of take for granted the stuff that you already have access to. You know, there's
Uh-huh.
trees, there's beaches,
Right.
there's produce right out the door, and you know what I mean. And you kind of take that for granted. Until I got here, I'm like, wow, I was living life. You know,
You were living the dream.
well, I was given the dream like I want to go back to the islands and finish up there.
Thank you. I hear a lot of a lot of people say that. Like, I've heard people say like if they knew what it was like, they would have stayed. They would have stayed where they
Yeah,
were. But you came
there is like
here, and you're owning your life here. You're owning life, and then you can always go back and visit. Just like I'm not
yeah.
from here. I'm from England, and go back and visit. All right. So
I went back
all
in
right.
February and
So
it was an experience.
say that again.
I went back in February this year. Thank God,
Okay.
right before the epidemic,
Right.
the
Right.
pandemic, and I actually
Right.
enjoyed myself. That was the first time back in 25 years. Yeah.
Wow.
hmm First time back in 25 years.
Wow. That's awesome. And hopefully you get to go more often after this is all done.
Yes, hopefully.
All right. So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to own their lives but they don't know where to start?
Where to start? You question yourself, what makes you happy,
Mm,
and then you say, what do you like to do,
hmm.
and try to align yourself with people with the same mindset and the same goal, and
That's good.
you'll have basically giving yourself options. If you align yourself in that circle, there's going to be a circle that you can insert yourself in, that
Hmm.
you can start your own. If you're
Right.
not in that pond, how
Mm,
can you catch that fish? You know what I mean? If you're not in that photography pond, how can you catch that fish if
right.
you're,
Right.
you know? So if you're not, if basically if you're not in the circle, you
Hmm.
can't connect with the right persons to
Hmm.
get you where you want to be.
Right. That's a good point too. Right. Like being in the right circle, because we have to be careful. We have to be careful who we're around, first of all. And uh, sorry, but somebody's fanning me over here. But he's fanning me and it's making the hair go in my face.
It's okay. It's like island dreams.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, wait a minute. Thank you, but it's kind in my face. It's good to laugh. It's good to laugh. So, but it's good. It's important to be in the right circle. Right? It is important because it makes a difference. Like over the years that I learned to about who you're around when your life is determined by who you're around. So if you're around with people that are not doing
Mhm.
right, then you're going to end up that way, even if you don't start that way. So we have to be careful who we're around and being in the right group for what it is that we're going to do. It helps to motivate us. It helps us to gain more knowledge, and that's what you're going to get because whatever you're around, that's what you're going to be. So you need to be in the right group. That's a very important point in um in an aspect of owning your life, making sure you're with the right
True.
people. You can be with people, but it's your inner circle then, right? Your your closeness of
Your
where you're
closest.
gonna be
That's
because you're good
the
with
one that
people.
pushes you more.
So I'm gonna be laughing, and I'm easy to laugh. So
Quick story about your circle. I was speaking to my friend the other day. He
mhm,
said a couple years ago he gave a friend some advice, and the friend
mhm,
kind of like, "Oh man, you're crazy. That's silly." And he was like, "Oh,
uh-huh,
maybe he's right, because that's a good friend." A couple of years later, someone else took that advice that he gave his friend and made a crap load of money from it. And
wow,
he's looking back at it like, "Yo, why did I person?
right,
That's your circle. Your circle
right,
just killed your dream right there. You know what I
right.
mean? And now you're looking back at someone, dang, that was mine, and somebody shut me down, and I thought that person was right. Is
That's
That's
why
why this
we
is all
have to
about your.
be,
You gotta be careful.
yeah, and we have to like, even though we take counsel from people, like we don't just take the counsel, we have to analyze it and like, okay, is this
Exactly.
right for me or this doesn't sound right? Because I because we're always going to get counsel from people and they mean well because they don't realize that they mean well, but
Yeah.
everybody's at different levels, I would say. So like for me with what I'm doing, I've got a lot of knowledge in it, and there's people that don't have that knowledge, right? So I wouldn't take the advice from them like that because I know that they
Mm.
haven't got the schooling, they're not in the same
Yeah,
circle, so
exactly.
they're not going to understand the same way I would understand it. So yeah, we have to be careful what advice we take. We can't just because it's somebody we know, we can't just take it. We have to analyze it first. So that's another good point. Thank you for that story. Thank you for giving that example, because it will help others to know. Okay, someone said it to me, but just because they said it to me doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, of course. And the circles have levels. Trust me.
Right, right, right. That's very, very good points. Thank you so much. So I was going to ask you like some of the things you're up to in the world, but what are you up to with your photography, especially in the season of the shutdown?
Well, the season of the shutdown, I was actually shut down. Actually shut down. I was down for like maybe 2 months.
Oh
2 months I was
wow.
down, and I was and but then after a while, I said, man, it's I don't know. I had to actually change my business plan. So
Okay.
in without going out and doing actual shoots, I had to turn in. I had to actually had to rebuild a little bit. I redid my website, arranged my photos
Okay.
and stuff like that on my hard drive, put everything in categories. I worked on a little bit. I'm starting video now, so I took some lessons on videos and studied up some videos
Awesome.
and editing and stuff like that. I also started selling photo products. If you already have photos, I don't have to
Yeah.
go out to meet with you. I can just sit here and get the information and what you want, and I can give you photo cups and USBs and any photo product
Oh, I
because
didn't know you. No, no, no. Sorry, I got
that's
my
all right.
helper here. I got my helper here.
I think I need
Look,
a
you see,
fan
look, you see, look, you're missing it. Look, I got my
here.
helper.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so,
awesome. So,
oh, I think I need one of those. Where you buy that from? Amazon?
also that's cool. I didn't know you did the extra stuff, and this shows too how we have to be versatile because in this season that we're in, you pivoted. So even though you couldn't do the photography like you normally do, when you go out to do the shoots and go to the different places, even though you couldn't do that, you pivoted and you're doing something else. So that's awesome. You're not just sitting there, right? That's owning your life.
Yes, yeah. When
Own it's owning your
close,
life.
the world stops. Exactly. You have to alter it sometimes. Because when you look at the TV and you see the Walmart ad, the 1 day after the shutdown, their
Yeah.
commercial changed. 1 day. How did they do
Right.
that?
Right. Exactly. Right. That's
The
right. That's
commercial
what I noticed. Right. That's right. That's what I
now
noticed
everyone
with
is big.
right. Like right away, because I'm like, look at that, they do that so fast. How they have the commercials already, and it just happens. It's
I know they
pivoting.
were
We
prepping
have
for it.
right, and we have to be flexible. We have to be flexible. We can't. We have to be open minded. We can't just okay. This is what I want, and
Mhm.
I'm sticking with it. I don't want to change. No, we have to be able to. And because when we don't, we end up being stuck, and then really, that's not owning your life. It's not. It's not. It's
Exactly.
just being what's the word mediocre. We don't want that. No such thing.
Need to put full
Um,
potential, right? Always change. Always
that's
keep
right.
up. Yeah, pay attention to the
Exactly.
world. The world changes often and quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm competing right now with cell phones. Tell you the truth. That's why I have to make my photos look extra special. That's why I walk with all extra stuff. People are like, you walk with all that? I'm like, yes, I have to compete with an iPhone 15 with the background blur and an autofocus and all them. You know what I mean? You got to pay
That's
attention to
awesome.
the world. You don't pay attention to it, you're gonna get left behind.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's so true. That's so true. And that's being open and it's everything combined, just owning your life, the circle that you're in, and thinking for yourself. So that's what owning like your life is as well. Thinking for yourself. Like with the example you gave of the story with the guy. If he was thinking for himself, he would have went ahead. He wouldn't
Exactly.
have.
You know,
Yeah.
your life
And
at
so
that point.
we have to think for ourselves as much as we get advice from others. We have to think for ourselves because I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again where people are not thinking for themselves. They're not thinking for themselves. They're just going by what other people say. and they get what's the word? They get astray. They get led astray, and they don't realize it.
Mhm.
I've seen it. So we have to be careful with that. Um, so, what words of encouragement can you give the viewers?
Encouragement. Well,
Yep.
first, the encouragement from within. You got to encourage yourself first. Say, I can do this. I will do it, and push yourself to do what you like doing. And if you like doing, find a way. Find a
Mm-hmm.
way. Do your research. Find a way to make it work. If you like to do something, and you want to pursue it, you have to be persistent and not give up in whatever you're trying to do. Because my first year, I looked at social media. I'm looking at social media and stuff like that. And as a photographer, you see and other people taking their photos and stuff like that, and I'm here with my camera, and I'm not getting any bookings. And I could
Mm-hmm.
have just, you know what, this is not for, it's not for me, but it's something I like doing, and I
Right.
kept at it. I kept at it, kept at it, and you have to progress. Also, you can't say, oh, they're not booking me, so I guess my photos are not good enough. Make I had to make my photos good enough to see a difference and be
Right.
persistent at it, and practice more, and and just advertise and keep at it, and it was like a
Right.
snowball effect. Most of
Right.
my from referrals.
Right. 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 Because I'm one.
Exactly.
That's it. And I love that. Thank you for giving that another example too. Because even though we're on in our lives and like we're starting out, it didn't happen overnight with your photography. It took going and just keep going and being persistent with it and staying committed to it, and then knowing the value because you know your value, right? So knowing
Exactly.
the value, because and that makes a difference too. Knowing the value, so and you know that that's what your passion is. So even though we start something and it's not going as quick as we
As
want
we
it. I
know,
see my background. This is my background. Um, that's my background. I got live background for you today.
got live
So
background, we got live fans.
I got the. I'm living the best life. I'm living a victorious life. And so when let me get back to my train of thought. Um, um, yeah, so being committed. So even though it didn't happen overnight, right? You stayed with it, and I see so like you're always taking pictures. To me, it doesn't look like you have a job. It looks like you're doing that full time because you always have a gig,
There's a
and
transition process.
it's awesome. I'm with you. I'm with you. I made myself a countdown. Um, but that's key. I like that encouragement to keep going, even though you keep because technically everybody starts the same way, right? So even
Hmm.
though you see people just doing photography, doing photography for years, and they have that huge following, they got the huge clients, but they all started the same way. But it's that you
Hmm.
keep going, you keep pursuing, you keep being persistent, and you will get to where you want to go. Owning your life, just owning your life. Can I read the next question? So how can someone connect with you? Right? How can someone connect with you? Because I highly recommend Kelon Miller's services. Creative, what? Creative something
Element.
photography. I should know it, right? I should know it.
Creative photography. Actually, gonna change it. It's a mouthful. I'm just gonna go with CE photography.
Okay.
But you can connect with me. I'm very active on social media. That's where 90% of my clients come from. They can contact me on social media. My IG Instagram is KMILLZ101. My Instagram is KMILL1Z101. And also on Facebook, Kelon Miller, or Creative Elements Photography on Facebook.
Awesome. 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 Thank you. Because like I said, I highly recommend Kelon Creative Elements Photography. It's going to be changed to CE Photography. So it's putting that out there now so that you remember it when you're looking up for him. I highly beautiful pictures, beautiful pictures, and I like that you how you pivoted and you've added other things. So now, so I know I'm gonna want pictures on cups because that's stuff that I've been doing for years. Like I have my like I have a cup with my children's names and the meaning of their names. So those are things that I love. So I'm gonna come to you
Yep,
as
there's
well.
cups, candies.
You have,
You just pull one off the wall real quick.
yeah.
Photo canvases, stuff like that.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
nice, nice. So with the you have cups, and what else do you have?
cups, anything that you could put a photo on, phone
So like
cases, whatever.
candles.
Can candles, maybe I have to do a little bit of research on that
Okay,
one.
okay,
But you know,
okay.
keychains, books, cases, photo books, photo albums, um, cell phone cases, blankets, pillows.
Oh wow.
There's a lot. Just ask me and I'll let you know what's available.
Okay,
And then yeah,
okay. You heard it here. He's pivoted, even though he's got his photography. He's pivoted and he's added on other products as well. So make sure to reach out to Kelon. So I thank you for coming on and for being the first male. So it's an honor to have the first male on. And so for those that need
oh,
photography, yeah,
also I'm also having a sale until July 4th, just so we're giving back during the quarantine period. It's a big
yeah,
discount on personal photography shoots outside only. So you just pick a location, bring some lights, and we shoot. You get some photos for your family, your wall, your graduation. There's proms. I know there's a lot of ceremonies that got canceled for
right,
their graduation. So I'm
right.
available and it's dirt cheap. All right. So just
So that
contact
means
me through Noreen or my Facebook, just message me. My Instagram, message me, and we can connect, and you can have a discounted shoot to to just to savor and memorialize this time in your life that you
yeah,
created all these achievements. You know, you can't celebrate them, but I'm
right.
here.
Awesome, awesome. I will be booking mine because I told you before I need to book mine. But thank you again. It's an honor to have you on here. It's a privilege that you're on here, and I'm so happy that you came on. And even for those that's on the replay too, make sure to reach out for your photography because it's not that he does it in locally; he travels too. He does
My papers are in
destinations
order
too.
now.
So with that, we're coming up to the ending of our show. It's so nice having you on then, and for the background that I had, the live background that I had. Thank you for just being with me, flowing, and until the next time, own your life. There is always hope.
Thanks for having
Remember that there is always hope. Bye for now.